It is not my responsibility what you think about me. It is not my responsibility to try and change your mind about what you think about me. Think whatever you want. I know myself. I know my values. I know what my intentions are, and that has to be okay. Hey lovelies, it's your girl Toby, and in this video we're going to be talking about the things you really shouldn't be caring about anymore as you get older, especially if you're heading into your 30s. These things might be holding you back from becoming your true authentic self, and it's time to let go of them. A lot of these things I'm still working on, it's still a work in progress, but let's talk about it together and see how we can work through them. Let's get into the video. First, be sure to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and share this video with a friend if you find it helpful. I make videos every week for the girlies who just want to live their best lives and need an encouraging and safe space as they navigate it all. This video is just going to be like a fun, informal chit chat where I just share some of the things that I think hold us back from becoming our true authentic selves and the things that we really shouldn't be caring about anymore. So the first thing I want to talk about is seeking validation from others. I feel like I struggle with this a lot, and it's something that now as I'm getting older, I'm just like, I don't care about anymore. I'm trying not to care about anymore. As we get older, I feel like we just need to start trusting our own judgment, our own intuition, and you just know that you can't really seek that validation from everyone to fuel your dreams. And what that means is, like, if you have something on your mind or on your heart and you go to others to sort of validate that dream or that idea you have or that whatever it is that's on your heart, you'll probably be disappointed because they can't see what's in your heart. They can't see your vision. They can't see your drive, your motivation, all of those things. So if you go to other people thinking they're going to validate your dreams or your plans for your life, you're probably going to be disappointed. And that discouragement might actually stop you from pursuing those dreams. So that's something I'm learning as I'm getting older, is to allow my dreams to be enough, to allow my want for the dream to be enough, and not having to go to someone else to like pat me on the back and say, oh, you're going in the right direction, or to encourage me or give me like positive vibes that will help fuel me chasing those dreams. Like, I have to be enough. My passion has to be enough. And that's not to say that people don't look for encouragement. Encouragement is not useful, because obviously this channel is all about encouraging people as they're going after their dreams. I love to encourage people, but it just means that that's not the first thing you're seeking before you validate yourself internally. So you need to validate that dream. You need to validate what's inside your heart and not look externally, because you may be disappointed and that might discourage you. So definitely seek validation from within first before you seek it externally. Your own dreams, your own choices, your own feelings are valid without the need for external approval. Another thing that I feel like we can all relate to is social media approval. This is a tough one. I feel like every time I watch a video where it's like, don't care about what people on social media think, post the content, do whatever, I'm like, yeah, I can do it. Let's go. I don't care what people think. And then I post on like Instagram and I'm like, ugh, I feel so cringe. Like, what do people think? Like, am I like bothering people with my stories, or am I posting too much? Like, is this video okay? Like, I just get very in my head, and then I like retreat, and then I go back again into someone encouraging me or watching another video that's like, don't care what people think, and I'm like, yeah, I don't care what people think. So it's like a constant cycle where it's like I get like, okay, I don't care what people think, and I'm like, okay, I do care, and then I care, and then I do care. So it's like really up and down, but I really need us and me, I'm really talking to myself here, to get out of that sort of habit of needing social media approval or caring what people think about us on social media. Like, it's your social media page. Post what you want, post as many times as you want, and it doesn't care. And I honestly think getting to that point where you don't care what people think about you on social media is like a huge step in becoming your authentic self, because you're literally living for yourself. Like, you're posting what you want, you're doing what you want, and you don't care. I see people post some stuff on Instagram or just like on social media. I'm like, oh my God, like, you really don't care what people think for you to post that. Like, they're so vulnerable. They talk about like personal stuff, and not to say you have to get personal to show that you don't care what people think, but I'm just saying, like, you can tell when people truly don't care what people think about themselves, think about them on social media. And it's like, how do we get there, right? I think the first step is realizing that nobody thinks about you as much as you think. You go back and, like, when you're looking through social media or watching people's like stories, for example, are you really giving much thought into what you're watching? Like, I see people who like watch stories, and I've seen them in real life, and they're just like tap tap tap, they're tapping so fast. I'm like, are you even seeing the story? They're tapping it through it so quickly. So that just makes me realize like that story that you put together so perfectly and you're like arranged it and blah blah blah. Someone else is just tap 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 tap. So that's just another reminder that people are really not thinking about you as much as you think they are. It is not my responsibility what you think about me. It is not my responsibility to try and change your mind about what you think about me. Think whatever you want. I know myself. I know my values. I know what my intentions are, and that has to be okay. Another thing it is time for us to stop caring about is failure. It is time to stop caring about failing. A lot of you guys don't even want to try something because you're like, what if I fail? Or you're already projecting that you're going to feel like it's not going to work out. I'm not going to be great at it. I'm going to be so embarrassed. Like you're already projecting that. And that's not right. You don't know how it's going to turn out. And also, as you get older, you really cannot care about failing because that means you're never going to try anything. You're never going to try a new business opportunity. You're never going to try and go for a job in a different industry. You're never going to try a new hobby that you've always wanted to try because at the back of your mind, you're always going to be like, what if I fail or I am going to fail? And that's just not the way to live life. So as we get older, it is time to stop fearing failure. It is time to reframe how we think about failure and think about it honestly as like a learning opportunity. Like, it could not work out, but I'm going to learn from it. And you know, the most important thing is like knowing that you tried it, right? And you didn't talk yourself out of potentially what could be a wonderful blessing and a wonderful opportunity. So for me, that's enough to try new things because I never want to look back 5-10 years from now and I'm like, I didn't try that thing that I wanted to try because I was scared I would fail. Like, I feel like that's such a horrible way to live life. And regret is a horrible feeling. I felt regret for like different things over the last couple of years, and just that like constant cycle of I wish I had done this differently, I wish I had said this, is not a fun place to be in. So I think you definitely don't want to get into that position years from now where you're like, literally it was only the fear of failure that held me back from this thing. So reframe failure, reframe how you think about failure, and don't use it as something that holds you back. Instead, use it as something that's going to be a stepping stone towards success. And reframe how you think about it and just be like, I could fail, but I also could not fail. And it's that possibility that I could not fail that's going to make me try this thing. Another thing we need to stop caring about is perfectionism. And I talk about this with people all the time, especially other creatives or business owners. You will not be perfect at something the first time you try it. You will not be perfect the second time, the 10th time, the 50th time. It takes a while. And I feel like even then, nothing is ever fully perfect. But a lot of times, perfectionism is holding us back from being our authentic selves because you want it to be perfect again before you even try or before you even start. Or even as soon as you start, you're like, why am I not already good at this thing? And it's like, you just started. Give yourself some time. So don't let perfectionism hold you back. Actually, I need you guys to actually stop caring about perfectionism. And again, let me just bring it back to myself, give y'all a real example. I live in New York City. I'm in a small apartment. I was like trying to figure out how do I make my background so nice and aesthetic. I'm in this particular corner of my apartment right now, and I'll probably pan the camera to show you guys. But I'm in a particular corner because I literally have only one window in my living room, just one window. Well, I have two small ones, two small windows in my living room. So there's only a particular angle that I can film at so the sunlight is in front of me and can light the video up, right? But at the same time, if I literally just turn the camera just a little bit, I have like my messy desk area, like my printing station, just like so many stuff. Like I have my couch right here, like with a wig on the couch. So it's just like this particular section. And I was like, oh my God, I wish like my background or my apartment looked nicer so that I can really film and I don't have to be constricted to like one section of my apartment. But that's life. Things are not going to be perfect. I have this podcast mic because I'm a podcaster. But if I didn't have a mic, honestly, I would just be talking without a mic to the video. So not everything's going to be perfect. Even the way when I watch other people's videos and I feel like they're hitting all their points so great, they're so like articulate, they're so eloquent when they're speaking, I'm like, that's not me. It's all a work in progress. You can't be perfect. I have my little notes on my side. I'm looking at my computer. And when I do this video, I like take pauses so I can look at my notes, remember what I want to say, and then I start hitting record again. So that's just a real life view that things can't be perfect. But what I can tell you is probably a year from now, you're going to watch my videos and you'll be like, wow, like they look so much better. They're more improved from this video that I'm starting out now. And that's enough for me to know that with each video, I'm reiterating on my skills and things that I've learned and putting that into the next video. So the next video is just incrementally better than the last video. And that's just how you keep on building progress in your chase for perfectionism, is just knowing that each time you're trying, you're getting better, and it's not going to be perfect, and that's fine. Guys, another thing we have to stop doing is pleasing everyone at our expense. And I know this is hard for a lot of us to work on. Everyone is a people pleaser in some way, shape, or form. And my thing, if it's not like my friend or it's not like for a good reason, I'm just not going to go out of my way to do things that I just don't enjoy. So if you invite me out to the club, I'm not going to go to the club. Now, if it's your bachelorette or it's your birthday or something, sure, I'll come, I'll be a good sport, I'll go, but I'm not just going to go on a random weekend because it's just not fun for me. So before, maybe I'll say yes, and then I'll be dreading and dragging my feet and just like be like, oh my God, I wish I didn't say yes to this. Now I just say no from the jump, and I feel so much better. Life is so much easier, and I'm being my authentic self. So definitely use your discernment and know when you don't need to please someone at your expense. Again, if it's for someone's birthday, a celebration, someone needs support for their business, whatever it is, they need a favor, you can go out of your way and do something even if it's not convenient for you. But for a lot of times, it's something that is not that important. I'll definitely need to learn how to say no. And also, we need to learn how to communicate our boundaries, guys. Like, a lot of times you're holding resentment for people for crossing those boundaries that you never communicated to them. Like, you need to tell your friend if you don't like that particular joke they keep making. Like, tell them and stand on business when they bring it up again and be like, I told you I didn't like that joke. Please don't say that again, or else we'll have to end this friendship. So definitely communicate boundaries and let them know you're serious about it. And don't be resentful about things you haven't communicated. And I know it's hard. It's a work in progress. There's actually a book that I'm reading now about boundaries and how to enforce them, how to communicate them. I'll put the link in the description box, so definitely check it out. But yes, definitely don't please everyone at your own expense and communicate your boundaries, guys. Another thing I don't care about is being the villain in someone else's story. And this is something I struggled with for a long time. I even had to talk about it with my therapist because I'm like, what are they going to say about me? Like, let's say you have an argument with someone or a conflict with a friend. You guys are no longer friends, whatever it is. And it's like, what are they telling other people? Are they telling people I was a bad guy? How are those people looking at me? What is that person saying? Like, I have to defend myself. And it's like, now I don't care. Say whatever you want to say. Tell people I was horrible to you. Say all these things. Let those people think what they want to think. I don't care. Again, going back to my first point that I made in this video, I know myself. And I know what my intentions are. I know my side of the story, and that has to be enough. And I can't want, or I can't control what other people think about me. I can't control what their perception is of me. I can only control how I think about myself. And I think I'm pretty great. And you guys are great too. So have that mindset, and don't turn this into a toxic interpretation of what I'm saying in terms of knowing your intentions and knowing you're right. Definitely always reflect after conflict and be like, how could I have said this differently? Maybe were my actions wrong? Those kind of things. Like, definitely reflect. But if after that reflection you're like, Toby, you did right by yourself, you feel like you did right, you don't think you need to apologize, or whatever it is, you're ready to move on, then that's fine. Everyone has their own reality. And just like you feel like you're right and this is how it went down, that other person is thinking those same things. So you just have to let it go. You can't control that. You can't control what they think. You can't control what they tell other people. And if you're the bad guy, it's life. Thank you so much for watching today's video. I hope it was helpful. Leave a comment below. Let's keep the conversation going. Be sure to like and subscribe and share this video with a friend. Remember that you're doing fine exactly as you are now. You're going to be okay, and you deserve to be loved. I'll see you next week.